Shalom, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all honor and all glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rahakwadash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles and the bishops of Great Millstone. Peace and salutations to the elect, starting with the 144,000 governing body of the nation of Yasha Allah, and the men, the women, the children, the true believers in the name of Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. May he have mercy on you in these last days. It's your brother, I'm now Allah, coming back at you with another lesson. Lord willing, be edifying. And the lesson is what? Where is the lake of fire and who can survive it? That is really, a question that I've been meditating on, because you have what you call the hell doctrine, and people believe that's where you go when you are what's so called a bad person. You die and you go into hell and you burn. No, the lake of fire is something that's going to actually be created, okay, through a process. And then where it's going to be, if you did know, look at the image that's hosted right here on this lesson. That looks like the United States of America, because that's where the lake of fire is going to be. All 5,000 square miles, right? Let's start out with this precepts right here. All right. This is Isaiah chapter 34 and verse 1. And keep in mind, it's a reason that this place is going to be the lake of fire. Okay. It's not just because the Lord, Yahweh Bashim Shai, is just, unjust. No. Any judgment that go down, any catastrophe, calamity, it is a just judgment from the Lord. All right. But the lake of fire is the ultimate judgment. And it's a process that's being built up. And not a lot of people are going to survive it. Most people don't even believe that America is going to be the lake of fire. That's why your typical Negro, Latino, Native American are walking around America right now preparing for Labor Day, Thanksgiving, Halloween, same shit. Meanwhile, World War III is being set up. There's an event that's going to come in order to allow America to drop those nukes on Iran. But this is all prophecy, and it's all coming together, right? This is Isaiah chapter 34 and verse 1. Come near, ye nations, to hear and hearken, you people. Let the earth hear, and all that is therein, the world and all the things that come forth of it. Because the Lord is telling you everything on earth is a witness to the iniquity, to the wickedness of this kingdom. What kingdom? Babylon. And who's the king of Babylon? The Edomites. Specifically, your president. Okay? But in general, the Edomites, the so-called white man, is the king of Babylon. This is his kingdom. It says, for the indignation of the Lord Yahweh is upon all nations, right? And his fury upon all their armies. He have utterly destroyed them. He have delivered them to the slaughter, the armies of all the nations. But specifically, this army here in America, if you didn't know, America's losing the war in Iran. You're just not going to hear it on the media outlets, because it's controlled by who? The king of Babylon. The kings of Babylon, right? It says, their slain also shall be cast out, and their stink shall come up out of their carcasses, and the mountains shall be melted with their blood. All the hosts of heaven shall be dissolved, and the heavens shall be rolled together as a scroll, What is the host of heaven? We talking about America's army, right? And their military. Their hosts. Because when you go into the word host, that goes back to what? Armies. Like the Lord's hosts, his armies. It says, it says, and all their hosts shall fall down, as a leaf falleth from the vine, and as a falling fig, and as a falling fig from a fig tree. For my sword, who's the Lord's sword? What is his sword? You see these all these missiles that's hitting America right now? That's the Lord's sword. Did you know that the Most High Yahweh Shemashai is the creator of the so-called nuclear missiles? Hold on, let me get you a quick precept so you know I'm not speaking in vain, right? This is Isaiah chapter 54 in verse 16, and I'm going to read it in the New Living Translation also. First, I'm going to read it in the KJV. It says, behold, I have created the smith. This is the Lord speaking through the prophet Isaiah. Behold, I have created the smith. Your smith is your modern day weapons designer today. Your scientist. The men who know how to put an atom bomb together or a hydrogen bomb, okay? Thermonuclear bomb, whatever. It says, behold, I have created the smith that bloweth the coals in the fire, and that bringeth forth an instrument for his work. And I have created the waster to destroy. Now I'm gonna read it to you in the NI, what is it? The NLT. Let's do it. Okay. The New Living Translation for Christians. It says, behold, Salakia, Isaiah 54:16 in the New Living Translation. I have created the blacksmith. Well, blacksmith creates weapons, right? Who fans the coals beneath the forge and makes the weapons of destruction. And I have created the armies that destroy. So all the armies on earth, all the weapons on earth, they may it may appear that the so-called white man came up with this technology, but I'm reading to you right here in the Bible, the King James 1611 version, that Yahweh, because we know Jesus wouldn't do nothing like this. He's all loving. And God wouldn't do nothing like this because he loves everyone. See, those are different entities. We're talking about Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, right? Let's prove that. Let's go here. Let's go to Exodus chapter 15 and 3. I'm gonna read it in the KJV, of course. Exodus chapter 15 and 3. It says, the Lord Yahweh is a man of war. The Lord Yahweh is his name. See, he's a man of war. So now that we got that out the picture, let's go back to that Isaiah 34. It says, for my sword shall be bathed in heaven. Behold, it shall come down upon Idumea, upon the people of my curse to judgment. Who is Idumea? Let's read it in the NLT. Isaiah 34 and 5 in the NLT. It says, and when my sword has finished it, when my sword has finished its work in the heavens, it will fall upon Edom. See, Idumea is the Greek way of saying Edom. Edom is Esau. Esau is the so-called white man. And today, Edom is America. Whether you will hear or forbear, it's right here in good old America. It says, the nation I have marked for destruction. So that's the people and the place marked for destruction. This is why I got the image right here. You don't need to see me. You need to see what the Lord says when he says you're gonna burn in a lake of fire. But it's being prepared as we speak. It says, I'm gonna keep reading this in the NLT. The sword of the Lord is drenched with blood and covered with fat and the blood of lambs and goats, with the fat of rams prepared for a sacrifice. But you can't offer a sacrifice to the Lord no more. Number one, because Yahweh was the ultimate sacrifice. And so Yahweh died to protect the elect and to turn them back to the Lord through his example, to keep the remnant from being that sacrifice. Because this right here, this is talking about the people. You people are the sacrifice. So when it talks about burning for eternity in a lake of fire, it's talking about being melted with nuclear missiles. Why? Because of iniquity, because of sin, because all the evil works that's being done and that has been done in America. It says, yes, Isaiah 34:6, yes, the Lord will offer a sacrifice in the city of Basra. Where's Basra? Basra used to be the capital or city in Edom in the ancient time. But as you know, just like Jerusalem is a people before it's a place, Israel is a people before it's a place, so is Basra. And Basra is where the Edomites dwell. And so where's Basra today? In America. It says, and it says, yes, the Lord will offer a sacrifice in the city of Basra. He will make a mighty slaughter in Edom. Okay? That's talking about America. This is Isaiah chapter 13. And I'm going to start at, man, you can really get all this. But I'll start at, uh, I'll start at verse 13. Isaiah 13:13. Therefore, I will shake the heavens, and the earth shall remove out of her place. Why? Because when all the nuclear missiles are penetrating America and the land of Israel, this place is going to rock to and fro like a drunkard. Everybody's going to feel it, but only America is going to truly be destroyed. It will be a place of destruction, burning, for for however long the Lord wanted to burn. It says, therefore I will shake the heavens, and the earth shall remove out of her place in the wrath of the lords of hosts. Let's look up the Lord of hosts in this situation, right? You need to know, I just read you, he's a man of war, hosts, of hosts.
Strong's H 6635. Sava. Sava.
That which goes forth, army, war, warfare, hosts, army of hosts, hosts of angels, right? Warfare, service, go out to war. Now let's read that with more understanding, right? Therefore, Isaiah 13:13 again. Therefore, I will shake the heavens, because World War III missiles hitting America. I will shake the heavens, and the earth shall remove out of her place in the wrath of the lords of hosts, and in that and in the day of his fierce anger. And it shall be as a chased roe, as a sheep that no man taketh up. They shall every man turn to his own people. This is why you're going to start seeing a lot of people fleeing America to go live back in their prospective countries. You see, it says, Man, I hope this got volume. Salakia, 1 second. I want to make sure there's volume here. Forgive me.
1 second.
Okay,
I want to make sure that.
we good. We good. Let me get back to that. Back to Isaiah 13 and 14. And it shall be as a chase roe, as and as a sheep that no man taketh up, they shall every man turn to his own people and flee everyone to his own land. That's, I mean, that you see, that is that's what you're going to be seeing here in America. You're going to see a lot of people fleeing America, trying to get back to their own prospective countries because the right is on the wall. Okay, it says. Verse 15, everyone that is found shall be thrust through, and everyone that is joined onto them. Who is them? The so-called white man, the Edomites in his kingdom. And you so-called Negro, Latinos, and Native Americans who have invested in this kingdom, in voting, becoming politicians, becoming part of the boule, becoming a part of every facet of this society, and forsake Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, you gonna get some of this fire. You will be here with the Lord's enemy. What does that mean then? That it means you're an enemy of the Lord. Even though you his people, you're an enemy because you love this place. It says, and everyone that is found shall be thrust through, and everyone that is joined unto them shall fall by the sword, fall by these nuclear missiles that's going to create the lake of fire. Their children also shall be dashed to pieces before their eyes. Their houses shall be spoiled and their wives raped. Because it says ravish. That's what ravish means, rape. This is all going to be happening before the fire even hits. But keep in mind, this is the build up. All hell breaking loose. It says, behold, I will stir up the Medes against them. Who are the Medes? The Medes today are the Russians, which shall not regard silver as for gold, they shall not delight in it. You're not going to be able to buy your way out of this, Esau, America. You're not going to be able to buy your way out of it. It says, their bows also shall dash the young man to pieces, and they shall have no pity on the fruit of the womb. Their eyes shall not spare children. Right. When the nukes hit, it's not going to spare anybody. That bow ain't talking about no goddamn bow and arrow. It's talking about a thermonuclear missile, an ICBM missile. All right? With 200 million warheads, something like that, a number that you can't even fathom. Because the Lord want to make sure once the smoke clear, America doesn't exist. It'll be a monument. It'll be an example of what not to ever be like in the future to come. It says in Babylon. So if you don't know where Babylon is today, I don't know what to tell you. In Babylon, the glory of kingdoms, the beauty of the Chaldees and excellency shall be as when the Most High overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah. How did he overthrow Sodom and Gomorrah? By fire. Fire from the heavens. It shall never be inhabited, neither shall it be dwelt in from generation to generation, neither shall the Arabian pitch tent there, neither shall their shepherds make their fold there. Why? Because it's going to be desolate. It's going to be wiped off the face of the earth. You see? What will be here? But wild beasts of the desert shall lie there, and their houses shall be full of doleful creatures, and owls shall dwell there, and satyrs shall dance there. So nothing but Komodo dragons and anything that can survive in the desert. but not no damn tree. It won't be no water here. It won't be anyone here to you won't be able to live here no more. You won't even know if you're in America, I mean New York or California when this place is done. This is Zechariah chapter 14 and 12. This is what's going to be for you people that are left here in America. When these missiles hit, this is what it's going to feel like in the lake of fire. And this shall be the plague wherewith the Lord will smite all the people that have fought against Jerusalem. Their flesh shall consume away while they stand upon their feet, and their eyes shall consume away in the holes and their tongue shall consume away in their mouth. You ever watched Terminator and you saw Sarah Connor standing at the fence when them nuclear bombs detonated and that destroying wind came and it removed everybody, and when she was standing there she was on her feet and her flesh melted away. That's what's going to be like in the lake of fire. And where was she at? She was in America. See, the movies industry done already told you that America is going to be the place of destruction. You see, it's you people who don't believe it. You think it's just entertainment, right? This is 2 Peter chapter 3 and verse 9. The Lord is not slack concerning his promise. What promise? The day of the Lord, the utter destruction of America. It says, as some men count slackness, but he is long suffering to usward. Why? Because he's allowing the elect to wake up. He's allowing the elect to be sealed. He is allowing those who are really a believer in the name of Yahweh to get themselves prepared for deliverance. So while we are taking advantage of this grace period, a lot of you so-called Negro, Latinos, and Native Americans are investing in a burning house. It says, but Salaki, but is long suffering to usward, not willing that any should perish, but that all should come to repentance. And that all is the so-called Negro, Latinos, and Native Americans, and you Israelite foreigners that look like the other nations, but are actually Israelites. That is what you should be doing. You should be turning back to the Lord, because this lake of fire that's being built, the only way to survive is to be delivered, to be taken up out of here. The only way to survive having your eyeballs melted in your tongue, right, as you stand on your feet, is to be delivered. This is Isaiah chapter 26. Isaiah chapter 26 and verse 20. Come, my people, enter thou into thy chambers, and shut thy doors about thee. What is the chamber? It's a chariot, a place of covering while America is being bathed with nukes, turning into the lake of fire. It says, and shut thy doors about thee, hide thyself for a little moment, until the indignation be overpassed. What indignation? The indignation of the Lord. So you're going to have to be somewhere to avoid this utter destruction, to avoid just hanging out in the lake of fire. It says, 2 Peter 3 and 10, but the day of the Lord will come as a thief in the night. Right. The nuclear missiles are going to hit like a thief in the night. The destruction is going to come when you least expect it, because the Lord want to catch you off guard. He want to catch you in your folly. He wants to be justified, which he will be, in burning up everybody, okay, who didn't believe. And that includes little children as well and elderly. Remember, Yahweh Bashim Shah is not a respecter of persons. You can get that in Ezekiel chapter 9, verse 5. It says, but the day of the Lord will come as a thief in the night, in the which the heavens shall pass away with a great noise. The heavens is talking about this kingdom, the kingdom of Edom, the so-called white man. This is the heaven he's talking about. And it's right here in America, Babylon. It says, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat. What else do you know can melt something with fervent heat? The detonation of a nuclear bomb. It says, and the earth also and the works that are therein shall be burned up. What works? All the doctrines of America, all the anything that's offensive to Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. He's telling you in this scripture, he is going to melt everything and the works. All the believers of Jesus and Christianity and Islam, idolatry, homosexuality, feminism, abortion rights, voting, thinking every fucking 4 years you're going to pick a president that's going to do right by you. If you haven't figured it out, no president has ever been right by you. This motherfucker that's in office right now, he ain't doing nothing different from the past presidents. Didn't the last four presidents tell you to go take the jump shot? They did. They did a commercial together because this place is wicked and the leaders are wicked. So the works therein are going to be burned up. I'm going to read it again. But the day of the Lord will come as a thief in the night, in which the heavens shall pass away with a great noise, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat. A bomb, a nuclear missile, to create the lake of fire right here in America and in the land of Israel. That's right. That place is going to get the same dual judgment as America, because these are the two nations that are causing havoc all over the planet Earth. And keep in mind, Russians are Edomites. That's why Yahweh Shah said, if Satan be against Satan, how can his kingdom stand? Right? Egyptian against Egyptian, brother against brother, because that's what's going down here. It says, and the earth also and the works that are therein shall be burned up. Not the whole planet Earth, only America. That's the only place where you're going to see a lake of fire. And the other nations are going to see this motherfucker burning. It's going to be live. You see? It says, seeing then that all these things shall be dissolved, liquidated. What manner of persons are ye to be in all holy conversations and godliness, looking for the hastening unto the coming of the day of the Most High, wherein the heavens, being on fire, America, being on fire, shall be dissolved. Let's look that word dissolved up. Let me get that real quick in the Greek, right? Dissolve. Because there's only one thing I know that can dissolve something. That's only one thing I know that has fervent heat. So we're gonna look that up too. Dissolve. Let's see. All right. We'll have to go to the AI. Define dissolve. Ah, there we go. Dissolve means a solid. Salaki means a solid has mixed into a liquid and melted away, or an official group, law, or partnership have ended. Let me see something here. The word dissolve It means to cause to disappear, to destroy, terminate. Mm, there you have it. That's why that word is very powerful right there. Because the Lord, he's saying that America's going to be destroyed, dissolved. And see, let me look up fervent heat. You got to really visualize these things, because at the end of the day, most people come across this video right now, this live, they'll look at it and they don't like the topic or the name, right? Because they know deep down inside this is really going to happen. So they'll listen and then they'll leave. But that's okay though. This isn't about views. This isn't about notoriety. This is about me. What the spirit was put on me to speak on this, because I'm riding on the highway right now and I can visualize this place being on fire. I just want to be saved and my brethren to be saved, and all of my household who believe, and the people of my family that don't believe, them niggas too gonna get this fire. I don't give a fuck. It is what it is. Now, this is the Greek word for fervent.
Strong's G 2741. Calsao.
Kalsao. It says to burn up, set to fire, to suffer with feverish burning, be parched with fever. Mm. And the root word, it says burning, burning up. I mean, it just don't get no clearer than that. And that's going to be America, whether you will hear or forbear. Forbear. All right. This is Matthew chapter 24 and 29. Immediately after the tribulation of those days shall be, Salaki, Matthew 24 and 29. Immediately after the tribulation of those days shall the sun be darkened, and the moon shall not give her light, and the stars shall fall from heaven, and the powers of the heavens shall be shaken. Right, because the nuclear missiles is going to cause sun blockage. It's going to cause again a great shaking of the earth. And then shall the sun shall I'm slugging, and then shall appear the sign of the Son of Man in heaven. And then shall all the tribes of the earth mourn, and they shall see the Son of Man coming in clouds, in the clouds of heaven, with great, so like with power and great glory. And that power and great glory is what? The chariots. See, once again, that's why I read Isaiah 26. All right, and 20, to prove to you, of course, you got to have the spirit on you, that the Lord coming in the chariot. And that's the only way out. What does the title say? Who can survive? The elect going to survive. Those who made it on the chariot. Those who were allotted from the foundation of the earth. It says, verse 31, and he shall send his angels with a great sound of a trumpet, and they shall gather together his elect. See, who is the elect? Let's look that up. Because not everybody going to be saved. You see, a lot of you are allotted for the lake of fire because of your incredulity, your lack of belief. Electos.
Strong's G 1588. Eclectos.
Electas. It says, listen, this is not the whole world. This is not everybody that believes in Jesus. Matter of fact, anybody that believes in Jesus ain't going to be saved. It says elect, picked out, chosen by the Most High to obtain salvation through Hamashiach. The Messiah is called elect, as appointed by the Most High to the most exalted office conceivable. Choice, select, i.e., the best of its kind of class. Excellence, preeminent, applied to certain individuals. Applied to certain individuals. You see that? That's not everybody. So when you read John 3 and 16, that ain't talking about the whole world. That's talking about Israelites, and out of Israelites, it's talking about the elect of Israel. That's who's going to avoid this lake of fire that I'm going into right now, that's going to be here in America. And read that again. Matthew 24 and 31, and he shall send his angels with a great sound of a trumpet, and they shall gather together his elect from the four winds, from one end of heaven to the other. That's who's going to overcome the judgment, that lake of fire. This is Revelations chapter 18 and verse 8. Therefore shall her plagues come in one day. Nuclear missiles. Who is her? America, Babylon. It says death and mourning and famine, and she shall be utterly burned, utterly with fire. For strong is the Lord Yahweh judgment, Salaki. For strong is the Lord Yahweh who judgeth her, America. And the kings of the earth who have committed fornication and lived deliciously with her shall bewail her. See, that's how you know the whole earth is not going to be destroyed. Right there. It says the kings of the earth, that's the kings of the other nations who shot missiles at this motherfucker, are going to actually bewail her. It says, and lament for her when they shall see the smoke of her burning, when they shall see America burning like a goddamn bonfire, standing afar off for the fear of her torment, saying, alas, alas, that great city Babylon, the mighty city, the proud as America, for in 1 hour is thy judgment come. And that judgment is the lake of fire. Let me close out. This is Revelation chapter 21 and 7. He that overcometh shall inherit all things. That's gonna be those who that are on the chariot. They overcame. And I will be his power, and he shall be my son. But the fearful, and the unbelieving, and the abominable, and murderers, and whoremongers, and sorcerers, and idolaters, and all liars. Those are all the attributes of the people of Babylon today, starting with the so-called white man, Esau, Edom. It says, shall have their part in the lake which burneth with fire and brimstone, which is the second death. You see that? That's America. The lake of fire is America, which burneth with fire and brimstone, which is the second death. And I just named to you all the attributes of the people, the spirits that are going to be in that lake of fire. And it's going to be a slow roast. It ain't going to be something quick, because there's a notion that, oh, well then, you know what? I'm still gonna live my life, and when your so-called God send his missiles, I'm gonna just disintegrate. Oh well, nah. That's why I read Zechariah chapter 14 and 12. No, your ass gonna sit there and feel it. And I don't know about you, but when my finger touch a hot pot, that shit is excruciating pain. How much more when you sitting in a lake full of fire burning slowly because of all your iniquity, all of your sins, all of your belief in this wicked ass kingdom that you could not turn back to the Lord because he didn't want you. And now you got to feel that death by pain, pursuant to 2nd Ezra chapter 9. So the lake of fire is in America, and only the elect will survive. Point, period, blank. So, Lord willing, that was edifying. And I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shai, by Hashem Rachak Wadash. Double honors to the elders, the apostles, and the bishops of Great Millstone. Shalom.